So we're having some issues with our CK editor for placeholders. So to reproduce this problem, the first thing you have to do is go to your automation sequences page and create a new giveaway campaign automation. That's probably the easiest one. Giveaway campaign automation. When you create a new one of those, it'll show up in the list here. Here's one here. You go to Edit, Onboarding, and then you'll click the pencil icon, click for Send Email, and drop that on the automation here. When it pops up, you can go down to the message part here. And we have a number of different placeholders here. So we have these ones in the drop-down list for one of these. These are just regular placeholders like person's name, date, those kinds of things. So drop a pop-up date onto here. So there's a group pop-up date. And then I'm going to add another one here, which is basically a picture. So click the picture one. And then you can select a picture here. Doesn't matter what it is. And then click OK. So both of those are placeholders. This one's the one we just added. So you see that it has more information about it. And that's what you can add to a placeholder. You can add more information like this. In this case, we can say this is the picture, the ID of the picture, and it's an embedded picture as opposed to a link that you click on to go see the picture. In this case, we have a date. There's no additional information, so it's just going to use the default styling for a date. What we want to do is what we want to be able to do is double click on either one of these to change those settings. So if I could do the picture one here, I double click on it, it brings up the placeholder edit form, right, with this information. So I could change the picture, I can change it to be a link or a button or whatever. And this brings up this uses this form placeholder edit form. So it's in NetBizBoom folder, placeholder edit form. Placeholder edit form. Okay, so this is the form that's used for that, for this pop-up or this form. Okay, so if we cancel it, we get this pop-up here, which shouldn't happen. This is probably because the cancel is going to the form, this page here, and it shouldn't be because we were just clicking cancel on the page before. So that's one of the problems, is that if you double click to open the placeholder edit form and click cancel there, we get that pop-up. We shouldn't be getting that pop-up. But the more important problem is this placeholder here, the date one. For some reason, these two use different CK editor plugins. I don't know if that's the best solution. I think it would be best if they all used the same plugin because they use the same form. But when this was originally coded a long time ago, we didn't have that form, and we used the default CK editor pop-ups that come up here with the information to enter for this form. Right now, we're hiding those. And I can show you where that code is here. If I go to SmartGit, I made some changes here just to make them easier to find. We have two plugin.js files. One is in JavaScript Common CK Editor plugins. That's the one that's used for the picture. This one here, plugins.js, is in JavaScript third-party CK Editor plugins placeholder. This one is used for the date one, right? So they're different, and we have other ones as well that use this one here, the CK Editor plugins one. We have all of these. I think all of these icons here use this plugin here, and they are for different things. Like there's one for video, there's one for pictures, there's one for various resources, and there's one for funnels. So there's different things that come in here, and they have a different prefix. Like picture equals is for the picture, and there's video equals, and there's funnel equals, and those ones use that plugin.js here. right? They all have entries inside the folder. So if we go to CK editor, I got here CK editor plugins under the plugins folder, CK editor here, JavaScript third party CK editor plugins. We have a lot of different plugins here, and a lot of these are ours, the ones that we created for our software, like forum, funnel, giveaway. Where's the there's a picture one that we just used, right? This is the placeholder one, the date one, right? And you'll see they're different. The picture one and the placeholder one are different, whereas the picture, um, let's look at the video and webinar ones. These ones are all the same, right? They all have the same format. The only difference is the name. So if you look in all these files, the only difference between them is the name. But this placeholder one is different. I think it was created at a different time. It uses a different plugin. And this particular placeholder one has this bug that I'm going to show you, is that when you double click on the placeholder, it brings up the same form. You saw a little pop-up. I don't know if you saw it. There was a pop-up that was hidden really quick. I'll show you what that is in a minute. But um, so this is the same form. It has different things in it because of the type of the placeholder, right? This one is a date, so it shows different things. The other one was a picture, but it's the same form. It's the same code in here, the placeholder edit form. There's checks in here to what kind of item it is, and it shows different user interface. So in any case, what I want to do is select a date format, right? So this is the date format I want to use. Click OK. And it doesn't update the plugin here, or the, sorry, placeholder here with that extra information. It should be doing that, but it's not. I made some changes to these files to try and fix that. In plugin dot, which one is it? This one here. In this plugin, I added some code in here to try and copy what we're doing in the other plugin, hiding it. And then there's code in this one. I think it's in this one at the top. There's a CK editor placeholder change. This is used by the picture one, and this is the one used by the placeholder one. So we have two different callbacks. These are the callbacks that get called after you submit the form that's created here, the placeholder edit form. After this is submit, we call this placeholder. That's done. It's done right here with this callback method that's passed in. So we put this JavaScript into the form when it's submitted, and that calls this method here. And I tried to do the same thing that this one is doing, to set the settings, and HTML isn't really used, it's empty, but the settings are what we need. That's the part that appears inside the curly braces. And so I tried to do that here. I tried to do it this way, and I tried to do it this way. This way uses the CK editor form that pops up. It tries to put the values into the input fields of that form and then click the submit button, but that didn't work. I also tried putting it right in the HTML using the widget element. I put it right in the HTML and it looks okay in this case. You can uncomment this code and try it, and what will happen is that you'll see this updated with the extra information, but when you click refresh at the bottom here to refresh this page, it clears it and goes back to this state. So it's not working properly. So so that's the first problem I want you to work on, is getting this one so that I can set the date format and have it show up here. And there's two ways we could do that. We could try and get this existing plugin to work. This where is it now? We can try and get this plugin to work, right? Which I think might not be the right solution. I think the right solution might be to try and stop using this plugin or convert it to be the same as our picture plugin, right? So basically copy over the picture plugin into this folder, right? So that it's the exact same code, change picture to placeholder, and then change this one so that it uses the placeholder plugin. The problem with that is I think that this one, right, it it selects the type of plugin. Let me go look at that folder based on what's in the curly braces. That's probably why we have two different ones, come to think of it. Because if I go look at, where was that plugin? It was in JavaScript, NetBizBoom. Where's the folder? There should be a folder here. Or comments, sorry. Comments. In Commons, CK Editor, Resource Plugins is right in here. I think it's in this file. But there is a place where no, I don't see it there, where we select which plugin to use. Maybe it's in, it's just too much code. Could be an HTML text area, which is JavaScript. There's a plugin there. Common HTML text area. Let's see what we have here. It should be something like video. There's somewhere where we specify what goes in the video one. So for example, like, oh, I remember. If I go to the folder that's got all the plugins in it, if I go to the picture one, oh, I think this is where it is. Is it custom? Yeah, C is resource type is picture, right? And then in plugin.js, no, it's not there either. There's somewhere where it says look for picture and then use that plugin. And I forget where that is. Picture. Oh, here it is. So I think it's in this section here. So we have this is when we're doing the configuration. I guess that's where it is. In the configuration, we have all the different plugins here. And there's one for picture. And then this is the format of that plugin, right? So I think the problem is that the placeholder plugin, right? We don't have a format for it because it could be anything. It's basically, if it's none of these, then it's this, right? It's like the default. If you see a curly brace, and then anything that doesn't match these guys, then that's what it should be, I think. Not sure whether this is how it finds it or not. There is somewhere where we have a regular expression that says anything with curly brace funnel equals or something like that is a funnel format. I think that's specified for each plugin so that it can find which one to use. In any case, that's the problem I'm trying to solve here, is get this double click working so that I can change the format of the date and have it saved here. And when I click refresh, it still shows up there so that when I save it and use it, it's going to look like this and it can be replaced with the appropriate date format. The second problem is that cancel. If I go double click here, bring up the form and cancel it, I shouldn't see that pop up. It should just come back to this page without doing that checking. And that pop up comes from form.js. So if we go to common form.js, and it's in here somewhere. I think it's an alert. Oh no, it's not an alert. It's a what was it? Confirm. Sorry, it's a confirm. Confirm. Anyway, so when it comes through to confirm in here in this. I think it's on submit. Let's find it for you here. Submit form. Submit form, I'll check if there's been changes. Oh no, it's cancel. Sorry, it's cancel form. It's a cancel form. Yeah, cancel form. Look for changes. Maybe it's handle unload. I don't remember where I put this stuff. Here it is. So line 1670, I think, is where it is. Where before unload happens, we check if the form has changed. Are you sure you don't want to lose your changes? So this shouldn't be shown um, when we're closing the parent form, because this is what happens. So you click here, I open up the placeholder form. Okay, if I hit cancel here, if it's going to show this at all, it should be over the cancel form. It's not. If I click OK now, it brings up this form, which I think is correct, but yeah. Well, leave that second part out. I'll look in that second part. Just concentrate on this part right now, which is getting this pop-up group date to show properly.